Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, it's gonna be a wonderful day. You got me for like an hour and 15 minutes. So let me say good morning. Pamela Barr, Bambi, Stella, Gamecock Jenny, Golden Girls, Wisco Gal, Mama Wojo, Miss Sweet Tooth, Jay, good morning. Ballcat, good morning. Nice to see you. Tina, good morning, sweetie. So yesterday, I said when I got off my live that I was gonna, I cooked me something to eat. I did a few things, which I was kind of like packing, pulling clothes in, putting clothes out, whatever, just trying to figure out what I'm taking and trying not to take two suitcases, which I'm gonna have to because I have to bring shoes for several outfits. So after I did that, I sat on the sofa. Next thing you know, I laid on the sofa and I went to sleep. Um, got up off the sofa and woke up. Bomb was live, or getting ready to go live, or she was live. I went in her live, and she said, as soon as she saw me, she had finished saying hi to everybody, and I had got in there late. And when she saw my name, she goes, "Oh, Heidi, um, I'm gonna have to ask you something in the chat." I said, "Okay," and I'm like, "Me?" And she says, "Yes." So um, she asked me about. She said that Amber was on panel, and I don't know, I forgot what panel, and I don't want to say what panel because I forgot, and stated that she and I have been emailing back and forth. Uh, I don't know, but the back and forth, I know I responded twice. She came in my comments and asked me to email her. At first, I thought it was Amber's ball spot. I really did because I had just left her live stream that day. And when I checked my comments, there was a thing that said, "Could you please email me?" So I emailed. I said, I said, "Good morning or good afternoon." You asked me to email, and then she responded, it was her. Um, Something had gone on Bomb's Rumble, and I didn't know about it because I had been traveling. Matter of fact, that's when she had emailed me. I had been traveling, and I was still traveling. Um, and I told her I would go take a look at it. When she sent me the link, I said, "Okay, I'll take a look," which I really didn't take a look. I didn't have time. And to be honest, as I said last night, I really didn't care because I was trying to stay out of the BS. But I did tell her that I was going to reach out to Bomb on IG. So, what I thought was a private conversation between the two of us turned into her, Amber, I'm not going to say her, Amber, speaking about it on a panel. Did any one of you here know that Amber and I had emailed each other? No, because I never said it, never put it out. So when Bomb was talking, I said, "Forget this." I said, "I will send you the emails." Then when I went to my YouTube email, I realized she has sent me a couple of other emails that I never responded. Again, I hardly check my YouTube email. Shit, I hardly check my Gmail, to be honest. I get emails all during the day for work. I don't really do email shit. So I sent Bomb the emails, the string, so she can see for herself. I have always tried to stay out of the BS with her and Bomb. At one point, I had spoken to Bomb when they first started going at it. I had spoken to Amber. I said, "Why don't you just both ignore each other? Stop." At that point, Bomb had told me that she really did care for Amber and she didn't know why Amber had turned on her. I spoke to Amber. After that, I stayed out of it. For Amber to go on a panel and bring up my name, that said a lot to me. I have never spoken on her. I have never said anything negative about her. And I really, really didn't appreciate that. I really didn't. That is something I don't do. I don't share emails. I don't share DMs. Yesterday I did. So, good morning, Just Beetle. Good morning, Snuggle Bunny. Good morning, Mari Mari. I honestly was quite upset when Bomb said that in the chat. I stayed for a little bit and then I left. Then I found out, well, before that, I find out that allegedly she was involved with, I guess last year sometime or earlier this year, with someone, had someone to contact Brooke's job. And there are emails between her and this other person, and Bomb was in possession of them. She found out yesterday, I guess, or the night before, and she was sending these emails to Brooke. Again, I don't understand how, if you have an issue with somebody online, you feel that you can take it real life and interfere with someone's career. It's not a job, it's her career. I can't believe you can have that much hate for someone that you've never met to get other people involved. And I kind of, I didn't finish Brooke and Bomb's live the other day. I went in after I finished and I was listening. And again, once I lay down, but I still haven't finished that live when Brooke and Bomb were live on Brooke's channel. Good morning, Sweets and Beyond. Good morning, Maria, my dot. Sarah, motherfucking Z. Good morning. Good morning, Vault. Good morning. I don't share messages. I don't speak on conversations that I've had with other people. I don't share emails. Just don't do it. I don't know what was said except for she had contacted, that we have been emailing back and forth. And I'm like, wait a minute, emailing back and forth. I responded twice, I do believe. Twice. So I guess that's back and forth. I don't know. But I wanted Bomb to see exactly what it was that was being sent to me. And that would have never, ever come up. Ever come up. I would have never sent that email or that thread if you didn't bring up my name on a panel. I don't. And you said in one of those emails, the first one you sent to me, as a matter of fact, that you know I don't like being involved in the BS. And I don't. I've had many convos with Maria, Sarah Murphy Z, Vault, Brooke, Sweets. I don't come back here and go, oh, I was talking to so and so, blah, 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 blah. No. Again, I considered you a friend. You and I both know there are a lot of things that have never been spoken about. Both know that. So again, I just wanted to make sure everyone understood why the email was sent. And I really don't like hearing the shit that I hear sometimes, because it's not the Amber that I knew. And everybody keeps telling me, and I say everybody, but you know what I mean. That's who she is. That's who she's always been. That's not the person that I knew. When I heard the stuff she said about Bomb's dad, when Brooke replayed it, I was shocked that those words can come out her mouth. Don't put me in the BS. Don't put me in it. And I said then, and I told her that, what did I say to her? I said, I would never speak on you. I said it on my panel. So I just don't understand, why did it have to be mentioned on another channel that we had emailed each other? For what? And like I said, I never went to look at Bombs Rumble. I didn't have the time. And I honestly didn't care, because I wanted to be out of that. And if I would have spoken to Bomb, her mind's already made up. It's her. Everybody's mind is made up. It's her. That's it. Okay. I'm done with that. So good morning, Terry. Good morning. Jesus Christ. It was something else. Oh God. Tito Jackson. I was like, wait a minute. It was something else I wanted to discuss before I go into my updates. Tito Jackson. Better know, well, that's what he's known as. His name is Torino Daryl Jackson. Died yesterday driving from New Mexico to Oklahoma. They are assuming he died of a heart attack. They're not sure. He would have been, well, his birthday is October 15th, so he would have been 71 years old. He died at the age of 70. I said the other day, I said, they come in threes. And I know other people have died in between. But it's like a family member or somebody that you know. When there's a death, it always seems like it's like bam, bam, boom. Is either a friend, really close family member, or a family member. When I said they come in threes, I was speaking about James Earl Jones, September 9th. Frankie Beverly, September 10th. And now we have Tito Jackson. That's three for me. That's three. So his sons made a statement. Tito said way back when that he chose not to pursue a solo career because he wanted to raise his three sons, which I think their name is the three, what is it? 3 T's, or what is it? T6, whatever. I think it's T6. But his sons do sing. One of the sons, I think it's Tito's son, is playing Michael Jackson in a documentary that they're doing. So it's Taj, Taro, and TJ. Yes, the 3 T's. I think that's their name, the 3 T's. So rest in peace, Tito. And I feel for Katherine Jackson. This is her second child that she has buried. Well, we'll be burying Tito's. The second one. The second one. I think Catherine's going to outlive all of them. Joe couldn't break her. She's just rolling. But I remember when Tito said that when Michael died, it brought the family closer. I don't think it did. I really don't think it did, because when Michael died, he wasn't really talking to any of his family members. At one point, he had a good relationship with Janet and Reby, but then they kind of tapered off because they were trying to get in help. Pick Me says she want to say good morning. What do you mean you're driving? Should you be driving? Good morning, Snuggle Bunny. Good morning, M. Wet. So, Tito Jackson. And This is crazy. And then there's another shooting. Oh, God. On I-5. So let's get into this. So I can, it's 6:24. Okay, let's get into this. But I wanted to bring you this one story first about this Jamaican soccer player. This mofo. This is sad. I'm going to bring you this story real quick. Hold on. Let me bring you this. Don't say much. Good morning. Let's look at this story. And oh, hold on. I got to put up trigger warning. Hold on, guys. I have to put up my banner. This is trigger warning. You're going to see a video that's quite disturbing.
We hear from the estranged wife of a former Dynamo player who was captured on a disturbing video.
Yeah, Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live from downtown with the exclusive.
Yo, Anthony, now tens of...
God, I miss that backdrop. I really do miss that scenery. Houston has the prettiest skyline. Ooh, they have a beautiful skyline.
Thousands have seen the video on social media. I do want to warn you, it's violent and difficult to watch. The woman asked that we not show her face or say her name. This is not the first time 30-year-old...
Now, this is at the daycare center, okay? This is at the daycare center.
Jorginho James has been charged with assault of a family member. He got his first felony charge last March.
He put a belt around my neck and he strangled me. He kept me in the room for about an hour, 2 hours. He put the belt around my neck a second time, and this time it was longer.
He obviously got out on bond.
2 days later, yes.
According to court documents, James was abiding by a protective order and his bond conditions. That changed on August the 30th.
Yes.
She says James was following her while taking her 2-year-old to daycare.
And as soon as I parked, he jumped in my back seat. I got out of the car, I went inside my daughter's daycare, and I called 911. And while I'm still on the phone with them, that is when he started hitting me. He did punch me 8 times. And I just feel like he wouldn't have stopped. He wouldn't have stopped if I wouldn't have fallen.
There's the baby right there, 2 years old. You're watching your father beat on your mother. Hi, Nail by Rachel. Good morning.
Because he already had his arm ready to go a 9th time.
2 weeks have passed. She still has a big black bruise and swollen face. You have a broken finger.
Yes, I have a broken finger. You know, I can't use my right hand.
Surprisingly, the second attack is a misdemeanor, but James got a second felony charge for violating a protective order or bond condition.
I was 100% sure that he wasn't going to be able to come out this time.
Even though the DA's office filed a motion to deny bond, it was set at $20,000 in the 174th District Court.
I hope that he watches.
$20,000 is nothing. He's a Houston Dynamo player. That's nothing. He's going to wind up paying this woman. And now what? Then what's going to happen? She was already on a protection order. And you attack her again. He's going to wind up paying this woman.
This or somebody he knows watches this and he realizes that, you know, he hurt our daughter more than he hurt me. She's been screaming and crying in her sleep, and I just need him to stay away and focus on himself and on getting...
I bet he wouldn't fight a man like that. I bet he wouldn't fight a man like that. Oh my God, he's no longer with the Houston Dynamo, but still, he wouldn't hit that.
Better so he can be a father to our daughter in the future.
Look at this child.
Now, we called to see if James wanted to respond. He told us it's not the right time for me to explain anything. Reporting live from downtown, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
She was on the phone with the police, and he still did that to her. Again, these protection orders mean nothing. They really don't. You violated a protection order. It should have been you violate, you go to jail. But he's out again. This is sad. Very, very sad. We talked last week about Karen Miles, who had been missing. They found Devontae Clark driving her car. Sad update, her body was found. Okay. Her body was found. And
I just feel bad because at first I'm like, oh my God, like this could have been prevented.
It's just sad.
Tonight, a person of interest is now a capital murder suspect in the disappearance of a Missouri City mother, Karen Miles. No one has heard from her for more than 3 weeks now. And tonight, investigators say skeletal remains found earlier this week belonged to her. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Daniela Guzman. Keep this off. Tomorrow night at 7, a prayer vigil will be held for Karen Miles at the Emmanuel United Methodist Church off Glen Valley Drive in Houston. And you can scan the QR code in just a minute for more information. But first, KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom tonight with the tragic developments in this case. Bryce?
Daniela, Karen Miles' family is staying quiet about this news as we learned autopsy results revealed she was killed by a single gunshot. The man investigators have been focused on may be connected to at least two other cases of stolen cars and missing people. But tonight he's been charged with capital murder in the death of Karen Miles.
Capital murder is an automatic death penalty case in Houston, well, in the state of Texas. Capital murder.
28-year-old Devontae Clark was a complete stranger to Karen Miles, her family says, but tonight he's accused of capital murder and aggravated robbery, more than 3 weeks after the 61-year-old vanished. Missouri City Police found skeletal remains in this brushy, wooded area on Monday. Friday, identified as Miles based on dental records, shot dead with one single bullet. Clark has been a person of interest after Pearland police arrested him in the days after Miles disappeared as he drove her car with stolen plates on it. Records revealed Texas EquiSearch tipped off Missouri City detectives that Clark was also a person of interest in 2 Harris County Sheriff's Office cases involving stolen vehicles and missing people, both from last October, one from the 24th. The same day Destin Henderson and his car disappeared. How would you describe the way that investigators have handled Destin's case?
Poorly.
Pamela Ely shares a daughter with Henderson, but after he disappeared, she started her own digging.
This is my daughter and that's her dad. So I'm going to go above and beyond.
Oh, she looks just like her mother.
She says Henderson met Clark in the weeks before he disappeared, fast friends with plans for Clark to be his personal trainer. And as far as Ely knows, Henderson spent the night at Clark's before his pre-Halloween disappearance. She knew Clark's name, age, date of birth, and in emails we obtained, shared his previous addresses with a Harris County Sheriff's investigator last November. When you heard that Devontae was a person of interest in Karen Miles' disappearance, what went through your head?
I was pissed. I was angry I'm angry at the Harris County because that family doesn't deserve this.
Ely is still seeking justice for Henderson, hoping he's somewhere out there regardless of his condition, as Miles' family prepares to lay the passionate and dedicated volunteer to rest.
Everybody dropped the ball, unfortunately, everybody, and it's just sad that this has happened.
And tonight, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is responding to what we've found here, telling me that homicide investigators did look into information that implicated Devontae Clark as a person of interest, but that didn't mean he could automatically be detained or arrested because additional evidence needed to be gathered. The investigation is still active tonight.
Here's that probable cause again, okay? Probable cause. We see this with Colt Gray. Okay, with the school shooting, probable cause. They need probable cause to detain someone. That is something we need to look into changing.
Detectives are following all leads and asking for any information in Henderson's disappearance to be reported to Crime Stoppers. Live in the newsroom tonight, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
This is absolutely crazy. I wanted to share with you, wait a minute, this isn't the one. Hold on a second, let me make sure I get all of this right, because there was a pastor as well that was just arrested. Where is my other YouTube? Hold on. Oh, I have it. I have it. So we heard about the second attempted assassination of Trump, right? I said before, all of these shootings, and I have the I-5 shooting too. All of this stuff started. Once one thing happens, it's like this trickle-down effect. Now we have all of these active shooters. We have people being shot on the freeway. Good thing 5 of these people are still alive. But we have a shooting that took place in Brooklyn. Hold on a second. This is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Is this the one? Yes, this will be the one. Let's see. Here is Brooklyn.
Developing story, a chaotic scene at a Brooklyn subway station as police officers opened fire after they say they were confronted by a man with a knife. Sunday's incident sent 4 people to the hospital, including a police officer and the suspect, who is now in critical condition. Natalie Dedrich is live outside Brookdale Hospital in Brownsville. Natalie. Well, good morning, Mary. Well, the NYPD tell us that when that police officer fired at the suspect, 3 people were accidentally hit, including the officer's partner, who was hit just outside of the bulletproof vest in the armpit. We are told that officer will be okay. They're recovering here at Brookdale Hospital. As well, 2 civilians were struck. A 26-year-old female innocent bystander. She is stable here at Brookdale Hospital as well. A 49-year-old man, also an innocent bystander, shot in the head. He is in critical condition. And surveillance video shows police rushing to the...
So the cops are the ones that did the shooting. The other guy had the knife. So they've struck innocent bystander, shot his own partner right outside his bulletproof vest. This is crazy. Good morning, Jennifer Positivity. Good morning.
Elevated L train Sutter subway platform just after 3 p.m. Sunday. Police say this all started after a man refused to pay subway fare. The NYPD says 2 officers told him to stop multiple times. Then when officers noticed he had a knife, things escalated quickly. Authorities say that he would not listen to commands to take his hands out of his pockets and then advanced on one of the officers with a knife. The NYPD says the officers' tasers did not work on the suspect, so they pulled out their guns, fired multiple rounds. That suspect, a man in his 30s, was struck several times in the stomach. He is now in critical condition. Here's what officials had to say.
He mutters the words, I'm going to kill you if you don't stop following me. The male basically challenges the officers, no, you're going to have to shoot me. As this
again, you shot in close, in a confined space is what it's called. You endangered civilians' lives, which we see now that one civilian was shot in the head and they're in critical condition. But you shot in a confined space. I thought you guys were trained to avoid shooting in confined spaces. He didn't have a gun. He had a knife. Your officers need to go back for more training.
Standing there, a train, a northbound train pulls into the station.
Video shows a man in handcuffs on the floor of the train car who appears to be the suspect. The NYPD tell us this is the knife the suspect was holding. Authorities say he has more than 20 prior arrests, as well a history of mental illness. And police are still reviewing body camera footage as well as surveillance video from down in the subway system, and that will assist in their investigation. We're live in Brooklyn. Natalie Dedrich, CBS News, New York.
Okay, Natalie, thank you. Well,
So they shot, that's Lisa. I'm not even going to show that one right now. At 5 a.m. this morning, Lisa is still in her apartment, which she's now trespassing because she was supposed to be out by 12:01 this morning. So she's now trespassing. And I hate to say this, but I'm hoping and praying that someone records her being dragged out of that apartment when they go in this morning to take possession, which they probably have already done that. Okay. Where is the one about the pastor that took his own life Hold on. I had the one about the pastor that took his own life because of child molestation. He was being
bringing former
arrested.
FBI
He was
Special
released.
Agent and Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam.
I'm
Jonathan,
gonna find it real
I
quick.
have been to this area. It's not like a normal golf course that you drive by in your daily travels and you can see the players playing from the road. The entire course is blocked by
Obama's
greenery
live.
if you're on a public road. So how did this guy know that he would have a line of sight to the president?
Because I believe he did surveillance. I believe he had somebody telling him or some way to find out what Trump's movement was. When you look at this map right here that you were just talking about, it is surrounded by roads that go right around it. And you step off the road onto the sidewalk and straight into the trees, and there's a fence right there. He picked a location, had time to set up, tie up, and fix ballistic plates to the fence along with a supply bag, a GoPro, and set himself up for the shot. That takes, I mean, if he just ran up there and did it, it would take at least 5 minutes to do that. But he also staged his vehicle so he could get away. So all that occurred in the perimeter in a location where Trump was going to be. And just like in Pennsylvania, it was not discovered. The perimeter was not secured. And this individual was able to go simply just get out of his car and walk over there. Now, whether or not he staged it earlier, we don't know. But the reality is he was able to set up a shooter's hide and prepare himself for the shot and let the president get within max effective range of that SKS, which is a Russian AK-47. And he could have.
Okay. Former president. When you speak about Barack, it's former president. When you speak about Clinton, it's former president. Jimmy Carter, former president, which will be 100 years old in October. Jimmy is hanging on. Jimmy is still hanging on. He's been in hospice for what, 3 years, 4 years? Jimmy's still hanging on. Former President Trump. Former. He's not the president. The president is Joe Biden. Okay?
If that Secret Service had not had seen him and the president got a little bit closer, he could have taken the president out yesterday.
Yeah, and Jonathan, how do you feel about, what are your thoughts on the suspected gunman? He even spoke to the New York Times recently, and apparently he was on this personal mission to form an army of his own to defend Ukraine, and he even traveled to Kyiv to do just that. And the Washington Post is also reporting that he wrote a book last year, and he alluded to the fact that he...
Look at him, he's smiling. Wait a minute, is that Clinton? Has Clinton lost weight? Look how he's smiling. Jesus Christ.
Supported Donald Trump in one of the elections, but regrets it. And there's even one line in this apparent book. He says, "You are free to assassinate Trump as well as me for that error in judgment." So what are your thoughts on the potential political motivation here behind all of this?
You know, I think the left, and I say this with all sincerity, I believe the left is a national security threat to this country. I mean, you look at everything that they do,
has lost weight?
whether it is destroying the children's minds in the education system with this gender grooming, whether it's killing the southern border and allowing whoever wants to come over and get handouts from the government, propping up and promoting violence against conservatives. Let's just look in the past few years. The congressional baseball game where Scalise was shot. That individual was a leftist, Bernie Sanders supporter, shot a congressman with the same type of rifle, an SKS. I find that strange. You have the shooter in Pennsylvania. We don't know.
He could look like Gary Busey. You're right. Okay, but this is getting ridiculous. It's redonkulous. He could have been Gary Busey. Hold on a second.
You know,
okay. But Gary looks a little crazy though. But Gary got all that hanging and wrinkles and stuff in his face. Oh my God. Gary Busey. Okay, let's see what else he has to say.
Individual using the same type of gun as the fact that the left is a national security threat, that these types of actions that are being taken are not just being taken because this guy doesn't like Trump. It's the basis in which he doesn't like Trump, because Trump didn't support some of his ideals, which are leftist ideals.
Exactly.
And that
Very
seems to be a
crazy.
reoccurring issue, along with, from an investigative standpoint, these perimeters that are never secured. And it's local law enforcement's fault, and it's also the Secret Service's fault. But these individuals are being allowed to get within max effective range of the weapons that they choose. And that alone is suspicious to me. And it is unbelievable that that can happen to Trump, who's already been shot once, let alone anybody else that the Secret Service is protecting. It's just something needs to change when it comes to securing the perimeters, or else my suspicion is going to continue to go sky high, which it is right now.
And Jonathan, my main concern going forward, one of them, I'm pretty worried that a foreign actor along the lines of what you were saying is going to see how close these two presumably lone individuals got to the president of the United States and say, hey, if we flood the zone with 2, 3, or 4 foreign actors, they could succeed in the mission to take him out. And that is a chilling and terrifying thought, Jonathan.
Yes,
It
I
is.
think
It's
the
very
Secret Service-
scary.
Jonathan, really quickly, we got to wrap it up here, but go ahead. Final thought to you.
Yeah, just one thing. If enough people who support Trump and support freedom in this country, they could have gone out and surrounded that golf course themselves. We could do that, either being hired to do that or just going out and saying, you know what, we're going to get a group of people together and we're going to walk around where he's at on the outside perimeter. And you would have done a better job because you would have probably spotted this person. I can't understand why law enforcement isn't doing this. And if Trump wants to hire myself or other people like me, I'm not just saying that to get a plug, but there's people out there that can just do perimeter security, and we would stop on all of these issues.
Yeah, well, thank God that Secret Service agent on the advance team spotted the gun poking out of that chain link fence. But you are right. The question remains how it even got to that point is a terrifying prospect. Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your insight.
This is scary. Very, very scary. There's an old interview with this guy. I'm going to have to copy this and put it. It's 11 minutes long, and it's too long for me to play it this morning. But I'm just like, wait the hell a minute here. A second assassination attempt. Now, this happened in Seattle. This is crazy. And the guy that started the forest fire in California, they've arrested him now. But this is another shooting. I-5. Okay. This is crazy. It makes you don't want to even drive your damn car. It really does. But I'm not going to show that one right now. I need to show you about this pastor real quick. What time is it? 6:47. Okay. What did Zelda say? Good morning, Zelda. I didn't see you come in. What did Zelda say? Why don't I see Zelda Z? There she goes. This is one more about weapons and mental health. Yes, it is. July was your birthday, Melinda. Good morning, Missy Tessa. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me show you this about this pastor real quick. And then there's a whole litany of mega church pastors that I've been working on that has now been excommunicated or have stepped down due to inappropriate touching and other stuff. And most of these are taking place in Houston. Okay. This is just really disgusting. Okay, here we go.
A Murray County pastor here at Family Baptist Church, a former mayoral candidate and staff at Independence Baptist Online College, accused of molesting a relative under the age of 12.
There is nothing godly about him. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Amy Spires went to one of Baker's former churches.
There's no telling how many victims, how many girl victims that are out there that he may have done this to.
Baker was booked into a Murray County jail yesterday for an aggravated sexual battery charge. Another former church member, Tiffany Boyd, is upset at what he's accused of doing, considering what he preached.
A hypocrite? There are a lot of words, but many of those I can't say on camera. It's infuriating. I mean, it's infuriating.
A captain with the Columbia Police Department says Baker shot himself at Murray Regional Medical Center today after bonding out. The hospital spokesperson confirms a man shot himself twice in the chest inside their bathroom, tried to save him, and place the hospital on lockdown. In Columbia, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
A pastor. And he ran for mayor. This shit is ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. I'm just trying to understand, what the hell are we thinking about here? You can't, your kids aren't safe. You aren't safe. No one is safe. No one. We see this man beating his wife inside of a daycare. Now, when you walk into the daycares in Houston, you have the outside door. Most of them are like this. You have the outside door. Then you have the door that goes into the center that's always locked. Kids are kids. You had a pass key to scan. And that's the one I know that had cameras and stuff in all of the classrooms, and you can log in at any time to take a look and see what's going on. When my son was in Iraq, he would log in to look at his son sometimes to see what's going on in the classroom. And I think he always knew when his dad logged in because he was the perfect little angel. But I'm serious. He had a sixth sense when his dad was watching. But can you imagine this man beating that woman like that? And I'm just going to show you this one more time. I want you to see what this man did to this woman. While out on bond, while under a restraining order, this is what he did to his wife, girlfriend. Oh, hold on.
Or say her name. This is not the first time 30-year-old Jorginho James has been charged with assault of a family member. He got his first felony charge last March.
He put a belt around my neck and he strangled me. He kept me in the room for about an hour, 2 hours. He put the belt around my neck a second time, and this time it was longer.
He obviously got out on bond.
2 days later, yes.
According to court documents, James was abiding by a protective order and his bond conditions.
He was
that changed
abiding
on
by.
August the 30th.
Yes.
She says James was following her while taking her 2-year-old to daycare.
And as soon as I parked, he jumped.
My thing is, he's following you. And that's why I came back to this. He's following you. He's under a restraining order. I would have locked my doors. I would have never gotten out of my car. I would have dialed 911 and I would have waited until the police arrived. Granted, she didn't know if he had a gun or anything else. I would have kept driving. I would have drove directly to the police station. Shit, they're all over Houston. He's not going to leave her alone. He's going to wind up hurting her severely. I would have never gotten out of my car. I have my daughter in the car who's 2 years old. You know what this man is capable of. I would have drove to the nearest police station or the nearest fire station. Damn near, they're on every corner. You put yourself and your daughter in jeopardy. You saw him following you. That's what when I first heard it, I listened, and then I listened again this morning. I'm like, wait a minute, we could have taken all kind of precautions here. And not only that, but you put other people's kids in jeopardy by going to that daycare with your daughter. So you jeopardize a lot of people. Good morning, Debbie. And he's still on the streets. He got bond and he's out again. He got bond, he's out again. Think about all the people that you endangered when you could have drove to the fire station or the police station. Shit, I would have flagged down a cop. We saw what happened with Micah Miller when she was being followed and she flagged down a cop. She put everybody at risk by doing that.
He
pummeled her.
jumped in my back seat.
In that home.
I got out of the car. I went inside my daughter's daycare and I called 911. And while I'm still on
Why didn't you call 911 in the car? I'm not trying to blame her. Don't get me wrong. But you jeopardize everybody. Why get out your car? He's in another car. And then when you got there, he jumped in your back seat. Your doors aren't even locked. Child safety lock is not even on. Lock your damn doors. Keep driving until you find a police station.
phone with them. That is when he started hitting me. He did punch me 8 times. And I just feel like he wouldn't have stopped. He wouldn't have stopped if I wouldn't have fallen, because he already had his arm ready to go a 9th time.
2 weeks have passed. She still has a big black bruise and
with 911. She was on a call with 911. Exactly, Snuggle. Exactly. She is in serious jeopardy. Serious jeopardy. This man doesn't care. She can be in a grocery store. I think he would assault her. He doesn't care. He tried to strangle her already. They let him out. He did this. They gave him $20,000 bond. He's out again. Yep, that's true. I understand that. I would see me. I guess I have no idea. But me, I was going home one night and I felt this car was following me. Seriously. This was in Houston. I had left a party. It was a pool party. And it was like maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I was heading home. I felt that this car was following me. It seemed like every turn I did, they did. I got off the freeway. When I got off the freeway, they got off the freeway, which doesn't mean anything. I went going down Atascocita. I said, okay, I'm gonna make a stop here. They stopped. I got in the car again because I noticed it, and I was like, matter of fact, I was stopping on Wilson Road at a gas station, and I'm like, wait a minute, that car's been following me. I'm serious. It was like it was a nice, just so they can see. And then when I got into my neighborhood, I made the right, and the car came right behind me. I passed up my house. I was still in the house then. Passed up my house, went to the next stop sign, made a right, got on 1960. Well, I made a right to get to 1960. Then I made a left. I went all the way down to the courthouse and the police station on Old Humble Road. They followed me all the way there. And then when they realized I was pulling into a police station, they kept going. That's what I did. Because I was home by myself. My son wasn't living there anymore. TC was overseas. Matter of fact, Nate wasn't home that night because he was over at a friend's house. I wasn't, and then my driveway is long. I got to get the keys out, get in the house. Yeah, I went. That's what I did. Well, that's true. It was just weird. It was just weird. I could never see who was in the car. I don't know if it was one or two people, but I know something didn't. My spidey senses started tingling. It didn't feel right to me. Then I got to get in, get the keys, go through the back door. Even if I went through the front door, it's pitch black. My neighbors' houses are all dark. I passed up my own house. I didn't want to pull in the driveway and them block me so I couldn't get out. I passed up my own house. And that's exactly what I did, Missy Tessa. That's exactly what I did. And when I got there, I went in and I told them what was going on. And they went out, they were looking. I sat there for a few minutes and then they were really, really nice. They told me they were going to have an officer to follow me home. And I said, you really don't have to do that. I said, because I think they're gone. They were like, well, just to be on the safe side. They asked me what kind of car it was. I can tell them I saw the emblem. I couldn't tell you the color. I mean, even though I probably did, I know it was dark. The color of the car was dark. I saw the emblem on the front of the car, but I couldn't tell you if it was one or two people in the car. I really couldn't, because I didn't want them to know that I'm looking in my mirror and looking at them. And I could have picked up my phone and dialed 911 then. So I see what you're saying, but I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, who in the hell is this? And I felt, but when they made that turn, and I damn near know every car, or damn near every vehicle that's on that street. And you done followed me from when I got off the freeway all the way down to Tascasita Road, because I wanted to go to the gas station on Wilson. I could have gotten off on 1960, but I wanted to go to that gas station because they had, and don't laugh at me because they had my Jolly Rancher candies, okay? So I wanted to go to that gas station, but when I got there, I didn't even get out the car. I said, yeah, let me just go home. That's what I said. And they got right. I pulled out. The light was green. They came right and they followed me. They didn't go to Kroger. They didn't go to Kroger. That Kroger was open 24 hours at that time. So I'm just saying, I just feel, even when I leave out here, like if I'm going in the office, I'm normally gone by 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30. And it's still dark sometimes. I'm looking all around. I don't open my garage door until I get right in front, damn near till I get to my garage. And when I get in my car, I get in, doors are locked. As soon as I close the door, cloop, doors are locked. And when I'm pulling out the garage, the first thing I'm thinking, if anybody comes in front, I'm running their ass over. So again, we have to be very mindful and very observant of where we are at all times. But I got to go. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Happy Monday. I think these stories is one with him, the pastor, and I don't remember if they said I know he shot himself twice in the chest. I think he did kill himself. Coward. He was a coward. He shot himself in the hospital bathroom. So why would you shoot yourself in the hospital bathroom? Why? You could have shot yourself in your car. Could have shot yourself at home. You were released. You could have went to a parking lot, shot yourself. You could have went to the park, shot yourself. Why shoot yourself in a hospital? Be vigilant at all times. I don't remember I didn't have a stalker in Houston at all. That was in Tennessee. I went into a gas station a few months ago and a man was waving a pew-pew around in there. Later on, he robbed the place. I never went back. Wait a minute. He was in this. You went in the store and he was waving a pew-pew around? Girl, you crazy. I wouldn't even think I would have got the hell out of there. I am so serious. Jennifer Positivity, thank you so much, baby. I thought you paid dues yesterday. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But you guys really just be vigilant of everything around you. Everything. Okay? Have a great Monday. Gotta go. I said I'm right on time, 7:04. I love all of you guys, and I will see you all later. Bye.